This conference will now be recorded.
Very good evening to all present for this session. I hope my voice is audible to all. Fine. So let's start today's session. All of you log into your TallyPrime software. Yes. So you're going to double click on your TallyPrime software. I'll share the screen with you. Select the education mode. Yes. Now I've given you two options, right, to select back your company. So either you type the company number or you can type the company name. Okay. So I'm going to type the company name itself and press enter. So I hope all of you have come to the gateway of Tally screen. Yes, very good. So yesterday we had discussed how to create the ledgers and we created a few ledgers, right? So today we will see where are these ledgers saved, right? So all of you were curious, right? I've been creating so many ledgers, but where can I see these ledgers? Okay, so let me answer that question today. Right. So now I go back to my tally screen. Okay. Now, if you can observe, under masters we have the create option. After create we have the alter option. Actually, you have two ways of seeing the ledgers which you've already created. Okay. After create, you have the alter option. Press enter on the alter option. And I'm repeating it again. We had created the ledgers yesterday. So we need to see where are these ledgers appearing. Okay. So we have two options. One, we can view in the alter option. And the second option is chart of accounts. So let me show you the alter option. Press enter on the alter. Go to the ledger. Yes, so here you can find the list of ledgers which you had created yesterday. I hope all of you can find this. Yes, so you can find out in the order option. Very good. Yeah. Also, you can press the escape key, come back to the gateway of Tally. Okay, come back to the gateway of Tally by using the escape key slowly. Okay, and go to the chart of accounts. Press enter on the chart of accounts, and you can also select ledgers there. So now you can clearly observe that under the respective groups, the ledgers appear. Under the group of bank account, I'm having SBI Bank. Under the group of cash in hand, I'm having cash ledger. Under the group of fixed assets, I'm having furniture. Under the group of investments, I'm having shares. And under capital account, I'm having Shams Capital. Under creditors, I'm having BC Traders. Yes. So this is how the ledgers are categorized under the respective groups. I hope now all of you would have got that grouping plays a crucial role when it comes to working in your Tally software. If we go wrong, in terms of grouping, then the entries, as I've told you, until the reports, everything will go on top. So you have to be very careful when you're creating the ledgers and putting all these ledgers or dropping all these ledgers under the respective groups. Okay, so let's proceed further now. So press the escape key and come back to gateway of Tally screen. Now, now we have seen how we can view the ledgers which we have created, right? Now the next step is, let's say we need to make some additions, or we need to make some changes, or any kind of alterations, I can say, how we can alter these lectures. Now, in the second session, we learn how to alter the company, right? For example, if there's a change in the contact number or in the address or any other changes, how we can update them by in the company alteration screen. In the same way, if I have to make any kind of additions or deletions or any kind of alterations, I have to go to the alter option in the gateway of Tally screen. Okay, in simple in simple words, I would like to tell you that if I have to make any kind of changes in the ledgers which I have already created in the Tally software, okay, including the default ledgers as well, I have to go to the alter option which is in the gateway of Tally. So just press enter on the alter option. Okay, go to the ledgers. Let's say I had to give it as now currently I have selected BC traders. Let's say I have to give Bharat Chandra traders. It is not BC. So what would I do is, to open that ledger again, I will press enter. And here, let's say I'm going to make a small change in the name as Bharat Chandra traders. Example. So once I make the changes, here I can add anything, I can make any kind of changes, even changing the group as well, any sort of changes, alterations. So once I am done with it, okay, I can save the ledger by using the option of Control A. See, this is how I can alter my ledger which I have already created. Okay, so this is how we can go for the ledger alteration. Next, when it comes to the deletion of the ledgers, let me go back to my presentation first. Yes, this is what I was talking of. First, we learn how to alter the ledgers from Gateway of Tally. We are going to select the alter option. We are going to select that master. Either it could be the ledger alteration or the group alteration. So select that required master. Do the alteration and save it. See why I've given select the master, but above that I've given one important line, title that it is the alteration and deletion of the ledgers or the other masters. What does it mean is, now whatever track I've given you and whatever is the path I've given you for the alteration and deletion, it is the same path which we can adopt if I have to alter or delete any ledger or any other master. I'll repeat it again. If I have to alter and delete or alter or delete any master in Tally software, the path is the same. I go to the altar, I will select that particular master, do the alteration and save it. If I have to delete that particular master, again I go to the altar option, select that master and I will use Alt plus D. So that master will get deleted permanently from my books of accounts. Okay, so these are the two important parts which you need to remember, right? So now we have learned how to alter the ledgers. Now we will see how we can delete the ledgers in time. Okay, so coming back to the Tally software, let's say I have to delete Bharat Chandra traders. So what do I do is, I'm already in the master alteration screen. I'm not moved to the main screen. So what do I do is, I will press enter and I will reopen this ledger. I will reopen the ledger of Bharat Chandra traders by pressing enter. So the ledger is reopened again. I'm in the ledger alteration window. Okay, I don't want this ledger to appear in my books of accounts. So what do I do is, I will use Alt D. And if I use Alt D, it will ask, do you want to delete? And let me tell you one important thing here. When we went to the company deletion, there was a second question asked, and what was it? Are you sure? Yes. But when you're deleting any master in Tally, there is no double confirmation that are you sure. Delete, if you press enter, it is gone forever. So there is no like double confirmation, are you sure you really want to delete that particular master? Nothing as such. So once I press enter, it is gone. So there is no Bharat Chandra traders. So this is how you can delete the ledgers which you have created in the Tally software as a user, right? So this is how we can adopt the alteration and deletion of ledgers. Hope it is fine for all of you till here. Hope it's clear. Alteration and deletion of ledgers. Yes? Fine. In case if you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself and or you can put up in the chat box. That will be better. So then let me proceed to the next step. So after the alteration and deletion of the masters, okay. Next we go for the discussion of cost categories and cost centers in Tally Prime, which occupies an important and a significant, rather I can say a significant role, crucial role when you're working in the Tally software. So what does it mean basically? So cost category, let me explain this first. Yes. So cost category, they are referred as the head office or the main title of the business. By default, Tally does create primary cost category, and this can be altered but cannot be deleted. Okay. So what do we mean by cost categories? So let's say I'm having my head office in Bangalore. Okay, and I do also have the branches in the other places or within the same states, in the other cities. So, like this, I can use or apply these cost categories and cost centers, and I can sub allocate the incomes or expenses of my company. Okay, so cost category, for example, if I take Bangalore, let's assume Bangalore as the head office. Okay, now in Bangalore, let's say I'm having around 5 branches. One it is in Jayanagar, one is in JP Nagar, one is in, let's say, um, Vasant Nagar, one is in Maleshwaram, the other is in BTM, right? So let me put up in this way for you to explain your cost categories and cost centers. Okay, fine. So if I take Bangalore, in Bangalore, I'm having branches at Jayanagar, let's say 4 block, one more is in, the other is in. So like this, I'm having 4 branches. Now, Bangalore would be regarded as the cost category, and all these 4 branches or the all these four my outlets will be considered as the cost centers. Okay, so this is how we use apply the cost categories and the cost center concept to allocate our incomes and expenses of our company. Okay, practically I will show you with an example, nothing to worry. Okay, so what is the path to activate these cost categories and cost centers? I've given you here from Gateway of Tally. Under Masters, you have the Create option, right? So click on the Create option. You don't find them actually, they're completely hidden. So you have to make them active. So I've given the complete path for you that you're going to click on Show More and then go to Show Inactive and then select the New Cost Category option. Okay, so let's first activate that, then we'll practically implement the cost categories and cost centers. Okay. Yes, Sakshi, it is Alt plus D, but you'll get the option of delete. You have to do it together. Sakshi Pandit. Alt D, you have to do it together. You'll get the option of delete. If you do it, one by one, it doesn't come. You have to do it all together. Then you'll be able to delete that particular master in time. Okay. So let me proceed with that. So let's learn how to activate the cost categories. So what I'm going to do is I'll come back to the gateway of tally screen. So all of you come back to the gateway of tally screen. From here I will begin. Now what all of you are going to do is you're going to go to the create option and press enter. Now you cannot spot cost categories or cost centers anywhere here. Okay, you don't find them. So what you need to do is I've given you the path already. You have to go to show more and press enter. Again, we check it out. There are no cost categories and cost centers. So what do we do is show in. Yes. So now can you see, right? Groups, ledgers, they're already active. But are the cost categories and cost centers active here? No. So we need to activate that. So what all of you are going to do now is go to cost category and press enter. A question will come that primary cost category exists by default, or you want to alter it or create a new one, right? Now, how we have the default masters already created. I've discussed in the earlier sessions that we have 28 predefined groups. I've also shown you that list of groups. Also, we have two ledgers which are created by the Tally software already, which is cash account and profit and loss account. In the same way, we also have a default cost category. The same rule applies, can be altered but cannot be deleted. So, the default cost category is primary cost category. So we can change the name from primary cost category to Bangalore, but we don't have the permit to delete the same. So now what are you going to do is you're going to select create a new. So select the create new option. Yes, you get a question. You need to enable the cost center feature for your company. Enable now. So what you're going to do is press enter to accept, to say yes. Yes. So you will be in the cost category creation window. I hope all of you have arrived in the cost category creation window. Yes. Very good. Super. So let's proceed further. Right. So the same path I've given here. Next, coming to the cost center. Yes. As I've told you, as this is referred as the sub branches of the company. By default, Tally will not create any cost center. We need to create it. And these cost centers are used to allocate the income and expenses of the company. So the main income or the main expense of the company can be sub-allocated between the branches or between the outlets, okay, of the business, right? So the same part is also applicable here. From gateway of tally, we go to the masters, then the create option, we have the cost center available. So it is the same path which is applicable even for the cost centers as well. Okay, so now let me show you the table here. So this gives a much more clarity to you how we can use these cost categories and cost centers. Suppose if I take as Bangalore as the cost category, so I've taken as Janagar, Koramangala and Vasanagar as my cost centers. If I take as, let's say if my outlets are in Bangalore, Mysore and Mangalore, my cost category becomes Kannada. Of course, see, define the cost category is left to our choice. I've just given you the basic uh, uh, clarification here. And if I take Mumbai, Pune, and Thane, I can consider Maharashtra as my cost category. Okay. So this is a simple, I can say, application of cost categories and cost centers. So now all of you are going to create the cost category first, and then we are going to create the cost centers. Okay. So let's start. So first we have to create Bangalore, Karnataka, and Maharashtra as the cost categories. Then we have to create the cost centers. Okay. So both we cannot do it together. So let's start. So I hope all of you are in the cost category creation window. So now I'll give the name as Bangalore. Again, you're not going to put any name in alias. You just skip that. Give the name as Bangalore. And at the bottom you have allocate revenue items. Yes. Allocate non-revenue items. No. This is already preset again. You need not make any changes. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, that cost category creation, ma'am.
Yeah.
Cost center, ma'am. I'm not able to find that, ma'am. I'm searching it
Currently,
from the.
okay. Currently in which skin are you, Rida?
Ma'am, I am in the basic screen, ma'am, where I can see gateway of tally, masters, create, alter, chart of accounts, ma'am.
Okay. So if you're in Gateway of Tally, you find the create option, right? Press enter on the create option.
Yeah. Yes,
Then,
ma'am.
can you see above you have show more?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, click on that show more.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, let me guide you again. It was already activated, but still. Yeah, you have show more. Press enter on show more. You have show inactive below. Correct.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Click on that show inactive. Then you can see the
Yes, ma'am.
cost category. It is inactive. So click on select that cost category and press enter.
Okay, ma'am.
So it'll ask you a question. Would you like to also activate? No, first is create new. Then would you like to activate the cost center? So for both, you give it as enter to accept.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you in the cost category creation window?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I got it, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So like this, you're going to type as Bangalore, and you need not deactivate or disturb the features which are appearing below. It is all preset. Okay. So just once you finish working on that, give us accept yes. Just give the name and save it. That's it. By using which option? One is accept yes or no. The other option will be control A. Next is Karnataka. Next is Maharashtra. The last one. Okay. So I'll just put across the cost categories in case if you haven't created, please create it soon. Don't do the cost centers. Cost centers I'll guide you. Make sure if you have not created cost categories, create it first. Just give the name and save it. Yeah. I hope all of you have done created the cost categories. So now let's move on to create. Varsha, if you have already created, it will not let you to create again, Varsha. There is no duplication of name and tally. What is the issue? If you have already done it, will not allow you to create it again. It's in the same name. There is no duplication of entries in Tally. Suppose if I create Bangalore, then it should not appear because if you're working in a new company, it should not appear. I hope you're working in your company. Otherwise, if you're already working in the company which you have not, I, ho- I assume that doesn't exist. It should not come, right? Name already exists. Or what you can do is you can just go to the alter option, Varsha, and just make the necessary changes. Yes, Varsha, what you can do is um, you can come back to the gateway of Tally by pressing the escape key, Varsha. Go to the alter option. Go to the alter option. Go to the cost category. So you can see all your cost categories here. In case if you have made any mistake, you need to make any changes, you can do it here. Just press enter, you can make the necessary changes. So it will not appear again. I hope I'm clear. Okay, fine. So let's proceed. Now we're going to create the cost center. So you're going to go to the create option now again. All of you go to the create option from gateway of Tally. So below cost category, you have cost centers, right? Press enter on the cost center. Yes. Now you have to select the right captain. How you categorize the ledgers under the respective groups in the same way you have to create the cost centers under the respective categories only. You have to be very very careful here. So again, one more important point I need to discuss. I've told you long back that I think two things I've told you. One, to save the changes made, you're going to use Control A. Second is, I'm not going to type the full name. Suppose if I'm getting the list of groups or list of lectures, if I type the first few letters, I get that particular group highlighted. Now, you can see it has been prompting there, right, in the category field. So I want that list to appear here. I'll repeat again, it is being prompting in the category field. I have to select the category first. So how do I get that list of cost categories in this place? So the answer for that is you have to use the space bar. If you press the space bar, you get the list of categories. So keep this in mind always that whenever you see the prompt action there, the answer for that is space bar. Moment you press the space bar, you get the list of categories, list of banks when you're putting up the vouchers in Tally. Okay, so now first we have to select Bangalore. Now, under Bangalore, which are all the cost centers which we have to create? One is Jayanagar, second is Kormangla, third is Vasantnagar. Okay, so we are going to create one by one. I'll give it as in per specific as we give for Jayanagar food block, right? And everything is created under primary itself. Please don't make any changes. So I'm giving the category as Bangalore and also giving the cost centers. That's it. Accept please. Again, Vasantnagar and a school. Okay, like this, you're going to quickly create the cost centers. Now we have created for Bangalore, correct? Now I have to create for Karnataka. Now already Bangalore is existing, so how do I change from Bangalore to Karnataka? Yes. Now I told you long back that there are two options to move upwards in Terry, which are there. Now already category Bangalore is existing. I need to change that. So what are the two keys in the keyboard which I can use to move to go upwards or to move upwards? In the beginning of the session, I told you
Arrow and
if I'm using
backspace.
very good, very good. So who gave me the answer?
I
Yes,
get the answer.
very good, Ran. Yes, it is arrow or the backspace. Super. So like that. So if I use the backspace, I can move upwards, or I can also use the arrow keys. Now I have to get the list now. Now I have to change from Bangalore to Karnataka. So now what key will I use? Space bar. Now again I'll swap from Bangalore to Karnataka. Yes. Now in Karnataka I'll put up the places which I have given you: Bangalore, Mysore and Mangalore. Your choice also you can change. You can give Delhi, you can give Tamil Nadu. I believe it, you have just randomly given these cost categories and cost centers. Okay. So I'll give it as Bangalore. Mangalore, Mysore. Okay. So we finished off with Bangalore and Karnataka. The last one will go for Maharashtra. The same way. Either use the arrow key or use the backspace and press the space bar. And I will select Maharashtra. Under Maharashtra, Mumbai, Pune, and Thane. Okay. Like this. So once you create both cost categories and cost centers, you can press the escape key and come back to Gateway of Tally screen. And where you can see this list, I've already told you, you can go to the alter option. So view your cost centers now. See, I'll repeat it again. You are in the Gateway of Tally screen, right? Press enter on the alter. Now you are going to select cost center. Don't go for cost category, cost center you go. If you press enter on cost center against the respective categories, you can see the cost centers which are being put up. Okay. I hope everybody have got till here. Yes. Very good. Very good. Right. So I think we can proceed further. Yes. I hope yeah. Now all of you have got successfully all the cost categories and cost centers. Okay. So let's move on to the next step. Now we are going to start with something big, that is vouchers. Right. So till now we have been creating the masters. Now we will start up with the vouchers. Right. So I'll show you one important slide. Probably all of you would have done it in your first, second PU, right? It's the basic, but still it is the backbone of your accounts. Okay. So let me show you that. Yes. Golden rules of accounting. So all of this would have done. I mean, all of you would have done this one, right? Your first PU, real account, personal account, nominal account. Here, let me give you one important, or let me make one important statement. See, when it comes to real personal and nominal account, obviously everybody will know the rules. When I say personal, yeah, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Nominal is debit all expenses and losses, credit all the incomes and gains or incomes and profit. But the highlight here, or I can say the crucial point or the main part here is, if you can observe here, I've given something there applicable to and the examples at the bottom. That plays a crucial role. Okay, so when I talk about the real account, moment I say real, this rule is applicable to all the assets of the business. If I talk about the personal account, person, and that covers a natural person, artificial person, and representative personal account. And if I've gone going for the nominal account, okay, it is applicable to all the expenses, incomes, profits, and losses. In one statement, if I need to say, it has a direct relationship with your trading profit and loss statement. Okay, covering all your direct expenses, indirect expenses, direct incomes, and indirect incomes. Okay, so coming to the examples which I've quoted here for real account, it is the cash, current asset, land and building, plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures, fixed assets. Now, what are trademarks, goodwill, technical know-how, license, royalty, and all that? What are they defined as? What kind of assets are they? Yes. What kind of an asset is a trademark, license, goodwill, royalty, and all that?
Intangible assets.
Very good. It is intangible asset. So when I talk about the personal account, I'm a natural person. Ram and Sons, Hap Stores, all these are artificial persons. Bank is an artificial person. Your mom come will call is an artificial person. Outstanding salary, prepaid expenses is a representative personal account. If I talk about the nominal account, of course, we have salary, indirect expenses, wages is direct expenses, purchase and sales again, the same way. Yes, we have direct expenses as well as the income. Then commission received, we have it as an indirect income. Okay, so this is how we categorize our assets. I mean, incomes, expenses based on the rules, based on the applicability. So that's why this really has a golden touch to your journal entries. Okay, right. So before I start, let me give you a small backdrop. Yes, these are the vouchers. The one, give me a second. I think this is not there. Yes. Yeah. So for the first one, which you're going to work on is contra voucher. Yeah. I think it's right, we are in the right place. Yes. The first one we're going to work is contra voucher. I hope all of you have worked with the contra entries, right? So what does the contra entries say? We have only two ledgers which are involved in that particular journal entry. It is only cash and bank. We usually put a C in the brackets when we are putting up the what do you say, the entries for contra, right? Making it as contra there. So all those contra entries are put up in a voucher, which is contra voucher in TallyPrime software, and the function key associated with that is F4. Okay, so when we use F4, we are in contra voucher. So I've given you very much in short. It is used for transfer of funds between cash to bank, and I've also given the transactions below. If you're going for a deposit of cash funds to be deposited into the bank, yes, cash is moving out, being deposited into the bank account. Second is if I'm going for a cash withdrawal from the bank, cash is coming into the business from the bank. So bank becomes the giver, and of course cash is coming in. Third is when there is transfer of funds from one bank to the other bank, interbank transfer. Classic example for this is what we are all doing currently: Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, Amazon Pay, right? All these are your interbank transfers. Yes or no? So e-fund transfers in short. And of course, we have the NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, right? To mark all these transactions, we go for the last one, which is from one bank to the other bank, marking the transfer of the funds. So I've given at the bottom the path. How do we move on to the vouchers? From gateway of tally, we go to the transactions. Under transactions, we have vouchers, and from vouchers, you're going to press F4. Okay, so let's quickly move on to that. Fine. Yes, so yes, from gateway of tally screen, as I've told you, under transactions we have vouchers. So we press enter on vouchers, and what is the function key for it is F4. Usually by default you see payment voucher there. Please observe here. You have to be very careful before you start up with the vouchers in tally. You have to observe that. See, currently I'm in payment voucher. I cannot put up a contra entry in a payment voucher. Okay, so you have to be very conscious regarding which voucher type you're using to put up your entries, because if I am going to put correct entry in a wrong voucher, again it is a wrong case. So you have to be very careful, at this stage. So you're going to use the function key F4, yes, and you're in the contra voucher. Okay, of course, once again, I don't want the cost center class to come, so let me deactivate it. I don't require it. Yeah. Now, are all of you getting this a screen like this, particulars, and then you have credits appearing? Or in case for few of them, it will be coming here at the top, account and then particulars. So please be make sure if you're getting account and then particulars, let me know. Otherwise, if you're getting two and by two or by there, also you let me know. I'll make the corrections now only so that you need not have any issues later.
Ma'am, I'm getting account and then particulars. Ma'am, even
Okay,
I
you're
have account and then particulars, ma'am.
fine. So if you're getting account first and then particulars, what you're going to do is you're going to press F12. F12 is the configuration. Press F12. Okay, you will be in the configuration screen. Okay, there, first thing, make sure that the first one should be yes. Use credit or debit instead of to or by during the voucher entry. So make sure that is yes. If it is no, activate or make it as yes. Okay, done.
Ma'am, should
Once you
I
do it,
click Alt F12, ma'am?
not Alt F12, only F12. Only, there's
If
no
I
Alt
click
F12 in
F12,
chat.
because if I click F12, it is like aeroplane mode on.
I've told you in the first class itself, you have to press Fn and F12 together. Otherwise, it will go to the
Okay.
aeroplane mode, brightness, volume, Fn and F12 together.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
You have to
Yes.
be very conscious, alert, and tally. Be careful. Okay. So, did you get the configuration screen now? If you've got it, activate the first feature.
Yes, ma'am.
Make it as it. Okay. So, once you do, save it by using Control A. First job is done. Second is now you're going to use take one more step. You're going to press Control and H together. There's nothing but change voucher mode. Control and H together. You have to get a screen like this. Change voucher mode. If you have got like this, you have to select their double entry because currently you're in single entry mode. That is why you're getting that account and then particulars. So you have to change from single entry to double entry. So select double entry there. I hope you have got the ones who are getting like that account and particulars. So select double entry here by pressing enter. So you have got your issue solved. Yes. I hope all of you have got the answer. All of you are able to resolve the issue. Yes, yes, Janvi, have you got a copy? Yeah, Sakshi, yes. No, Varsha, I think it should be. No, account and particulars will not come, Varsha. Currently, are you in the contra voucher? Varsha, yes. Huh. So, what you're going to do is press Control H, mother. Control button and H together. Or I'll show you the option here, wait, in your Tally software. Yes, see, I've come to the contra voucher. Yes, Varsha.
Ma'am, no, it's Chavi here. Can you repeat from the F12
Chavi.
part?
Okay, it's Chavi, fine. Yes. See, I'll repeat it again. Now, first, you're going to press F12 configure. Okay, fine. Your vertical button bar, which is appearing on the right hand side of your screen, the last option, can you see there F12 configure is there? You can select it by using your mouse, so not an issue. Otherwise, you can press Fn and F12 together. Now, hope all of you are on the configuration screen. Okay, and do activate the first feature. Use credit or debit instead of to and by. This should be yes. Once you have activated it as yes, press Ctrl A to save these changes. Okay, this is the first step to be taken. The second step is, can you see again in your vertical button bar towards your right, you have change mode option there. And we have two lines right beneath H. So how it is defined as, I have told you, Control H. If it is a single line, it will be Control H. If there are two lines beneath that alphabet, it will be Control H. So just click on that change mode option. You get change voucher mode. So there you're going to select double entry. Okay. So just press enter on double entry and you come back to the screen. Now I think it is clear for everybody now. Okay, done. Yes, Shruti, have you got it, ma? Shruti Narayan.
Ma'am, after pressing CTR plus A, what is the next step?
After pressing
CTR
Control
plus
A.
A. Yeah.
Huh. From where you have done Control plus A configuration, is it?
Yes, ma'am. After changing the yes option and then control A. After that
Huh.
process, can you just tell?
After that, you're going to press Control H. Press Control H. You go to the change voucher mode, Shruti.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there you select double entry. See, I'm showing it to you again. See, this should be selected. For you, in your case, it will be single entry. Go to double entry and press enter on that or select that. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, done. So hope all of you have got no issues till now, right? Yeah, because each and every step, if we are conscious, if we are going on well, so we'll have no issues later. Otherwise, no, later on it'll be a problem. So let's avoid that. Right? This is a contra voucher which you're seeing. Okay, so let me discuss one peculiarity about contra voucher now. Usually, which aspect appears first? Does debit or credit appear first? As per you, when you're passing the journal entry, which aspect appears first? Is it debit or is it credit? It is always the debit which we see, yes. But in contra voucher, we see the credit first and then we see the debit next. Nothing to worry, it is normal. It is being defined as such, your contra vouchers. Positions may change. Your credit may appear your credit may appear first and debit may appear next, but the effect remains the same. Which account needs to be debited, it will be debited. Which account needs to be credited, it will be credited. So there are no changes in that. So here, what what matters the most is you have to be very clear with your journal entry. You should not get confused. Okay, so you have to be very, what do you say, do have a clarity when you're putting up the entry in tally in the contra voucher. Okay, so this is the syntax which we follow for contra vouchers, and I've given you in brackets either it is cash or it is bank, credit as well as debit, either it is cash or it is bank. There is no permit of any other ledger in contra vouchers. Okay, it will not permit you to put up rent, salary, or any other ledger in the contra vouchers. I'm talking of tally. Practically, we do no contra entries, but you try to experiment in tally, it will not allow you to do that. Okay, right? So these are, I'll give you a few entries which you can put up in contra vouchers now. I hope all of you are ready. Yes, so we'll go for the initial entries. Yes, so let me go for it. Yeah. So I've given you three basic entries where we are going to make a deposit of 5,000 rupees cash into ICICI Bank. Okay. The second entry goes for a cash withdrawal of 3,000 from ICICI Bank. The third is we're going to transfer 1,500 rupees from ICICI Bank to HDFC Bank. So one is a deposit entry, second one is a withdrawal entry, third is we are going to transfer from one bank to the other bank. Nothing but your e-fund transfers. Okay. So all these three, how we are going to put up in contra vouchers is what we are going to see now. Okay, so the first entry we won't deposit cash, but before that we have to take one important step. Okay, now I told you in the last session that we have two default ledgers. One is cash and the other is profit and loss account, right? So let me go back to that. Okay, you need not. You can stay back in the contra vouchers. Okay. Yes. Now I've told you that we have two default ledgers. One we have is this cash, second we have is this profit and loss account. So let me go to the cash ledger. Yes. So this cash ledger, what we are talking of is nothing but cash in hand. Now, usually we have two types of cash ledgers. One we have is this cash in hand. Second, we have is this cash at bank, correct? So cash in hand is the amount of funds which we have it. Okay, the I can say the hard cash or the current funds or the physical funds, and whatever, however you define them. Okay, it is the current amount or the funds which are currently available in the company within the entity. But when it comes to your cash at bank, it is a funds which have been deposited in your bank account. So here I am talking about cash in hand and not cash at bank. Okay, so now Tally has no idea of what is the amount of funds currently available as of this day in my company, in my entity. So that I have to update it. I can update it daily, or the period may differ. It could be what do you say, once in 15 days or monthly, depending upon my business operations. So what you're going to do now is you're going to update the current cash in hand balance. So as of today, okay, I'm having, let's assume that I'm having 5 lakhs as my cash in hand balance in my company. So carefully you have to go to the opening balance. Okay, fine. So now what all of you are going to do is, before we put up the contra vouchers here, before we start this, okay, we have to update the current cash in hand balance. So what all of you are going to do is, now you come back to gateway of tally by pressing the escape key. All of you come back to the gateway of tally by pressing the escape key, and from there press enter on the order option, go to the ledger and select cash ledger. I hope all of you are in the cash ledger. Now don't disturb the group. It has to be cash in
Ma'am,
hand.
can you repeat it again?
Yes, yes. Make sure you're in gateway of tally screen. Press the escape key, come back to the gateway of tally screen. Okay. From gateway of tally screen, under create you have the order option. Press enter on the order option button. Okay. And here select ledger under accounting masters. Select ledger. Press enter on ledger. Now you're going to select the cash ledger.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
hope all of you are in the ledger. Yes. Good. Now here, what you're going to do is you're not going to disturb the group. See, already Tally has created this ledger for me. It is a default ledger appearing in the TallyPrime software. My only job is to update the current balance, opening balance. So what I'm going to do is, either you can use the mouse, or if you're using the keyboard you have to be very careful, because what happens most of the times there is a possibility tendency of changing the groups here. So you have to be very very careful. Make sure it is cash in hand itself. Make sure it is cash in hand. You have to be very careful, because once it goes to the capital account, you don't find the cash ledger when you're passing contra vouchers. So you have to make sure that your group is cash in hand itself. Okay, so press enter and come straight to the opening balance. Okay, so we can update the opening balance as 5 lakhs and press enter. Now, now the moment I give opening balance, there is an automatic DR coming there. I have not typed DR, but how it is able to define or give as DR? Yes, anyone has an answer for that? Moment I give the opening balance, I get as DR there automatically. You need not check the top on the total opening balance. You can just ignore that. We can. I'm talking about the opening balance here at the bottom. The moment I give us 5 lakhs, it is showing as DR. I have never given as DR or CR there. But how is Tally identifying or assigning that DR there?
Because it's an asset, so it automatically puts DR there.
Very good, very good. Because all assets have debit balances, all liabilities have credit balances, and obviously cash is a current asset, right? So that's why. And how does this happen? Now, moment I give cash, there is no idea whether it is an asset or it is a liability. I can give any name, yeah, my choice. But the identification happens at which stage? Is it the
When we
name?
put it under a category like the cash in hand.
Very good, very good. Grouping plays a crucial role, is what I told you that time. It is being categorized under cash in hand, that nothing but current asset. That's why I've told you long back that in case if we make a mistake in the grouping, everything can go on a toss. So this plays a crucial role. More than the name, the group plays a crucial role when you're creating ledgers or when you're altering ledgers. Okay. So that's the moment it is categorized under the current assets, I get a DR here. Okay. So press enter. So you can save this ledger. Once you give the opening balance, you can save the ledger either by going for accept yes or no or by using control A. Okay. So you can accept the changes. So we have updated the opening balance. Okay. You can press the escape key, come back to gateway of Tally. Okay. So I hope all of you have updated the opening balance. Now let's go to the vouchers. Press enter on vouchers. Okay, you will be in the contra voucher. Fine. Now what is the first entry? Okay. Yes, the first entry says we have deposited 5,000 into ICICI Bank, right? So now cash is moving out and it is being deposited into the bank. So what is the entry you're going to give for the first one? Journal entry usually. I'm not talking of what comes CR, what comes as DR. In general, how do you put up the entry? Which ledger will get debited here and which ledger gets credited here? Applying the golden rules of accounting. Yes. If I'm depositing 5,000 into the bank, what is my, which ledger should be debited and which ledger should be credited? Yes. So cash is coming in or going out. We are taking the funds. We are taking 5,000 rupees, going to the bank and we want to deposit the funds. So, so cash is going out and it is being deposited into the bank, right? So applying the golden rules, cash belongs to the real account and your bank comes under the personal account. Yes. So now applying the same, your cash will be credited and your ICICI bank becomes the receiver of funds. Yes, debit the receiver, credit the giver. This is the usual entry we pass. Yes, ICICI bank to cash account. Yes, bank to cash. Now, this is the usual entry we pass. Now, when it comes to your contra voucher, as I've told you, your credit appears first and debit appears next, correct? Now, now the credit position, we do have cash. And in the debit position, we have what? We have ICICI Bank. So as I told you that our positions may change, but the effect remains the same. What has to be credited will be credited. What has to be debited will be debited. Okay, so this entry we're going to put up in the contra voucher. Okay, I hope this is clear for all of you. So can we pass the entry, or do you have any doubts? In case you are unable to understand, let me know. Fine. So I think we'll put up the entry. Fine. So let's proceed. So now we are currently in the contra voucher, right? So the credit aspect should be cash. Yes. The credit aspect should be cash. So I'll select the cash ledger. Now it is showing me that I'm having 5 lakhs as the current balance. So out of 5 lakhs, I'm taking 5,000 rupees. Out of 5 lakhs, I'm taking 5,000 rupees. So I'll tap 5,000 there in the credit side. Press enter. I step down. Okay. And of course, we have the DR which is being prompting. So I want to make one thing clear. Please don't type anything there. It will not even appear. DRC, there's a prompt action there. So what you want to do is you're going to press enter first. Again, you'll get the list of ledgers. So I'll repeat it again. See, moment you type 5,000, you're going to press enter. You will step down. You can see the prompt action there. First press enter. You'll come back to the list of ledger accounts. Now, we are depositing 5,000 into ICICI Bank, not SBI Bank. Okay. So now I'm having here SBI Bank, but I'm not having ICICI Bank. So what do I do now? If you can observe in the list of ledgers, we have the create option here above. And you see here we have the create option. If we select that create option and press enter, this is on spot ledger creation window, in the sense I need not come back to gateway of tally, go to create the ledger. I can create the ledger on spot during the voucher creation, or at the time of passing the vouchers also I can create the ledgers on spot. Okay, so now moment I go select the create option, I'm in the ledger creation window. Now here I can give the name as ICICI Bank. Now ICICI Bank will be categorized under which group? Yes, we had created SBI Bank under which group? It was under bank account, yes or no? So now we are going to create ICICI Bank under the group of bank account only. Fine. So once you create ICICI Bank under the group of bank account, press Ctrl A to save the ledger. Yes, this is how we are going to put up the entry. Press enter. I hope all of you have got till here. You're able to pass the entry. Credit cash, debit ICICI Bank. In case no, in case having issue, let me know. Yes. So press enter. Moment you press enter, you come to the bank allocation window. So bank allocation window is nothing but here we need to give a clarity as how are we depositing the funds. Okay. So how do you get this bank allocation screen is you have to press enter on the 5,000 rupees. The moment you press enter on this, you get the bank allocation screen. Now here, transaction type, it is showing as cash over there already. What does this mean is Tally software needs a clarification how you are depositing funds into the bank. See, either I can use a check, I can use cash, I can transfer by GPay, PhonePay, any mode I'm having, IMPS, NEFT, RTGS. So there needs to be a clarity how are we depositing funds into the bank. So as per my the transaction, I'm having cash of 5,000, which I'm going to the bank and depositing the same. So it is cash form in which I'm depositing funds into the bank, correct? So transaction type will be cash itself. And what is the amount I'm depositing here? It is 5,000 rupees. So I'm not going to make any changes. So I'll just press enter. Yes. So where do we see this denomination screen? Where do we find this usually? I think it is a very familiar one. So where do we find this usually? In which place? In which I can say usually where do we find? In which kind of a transaction? Yes, this denomination screen. Hmm? Yes, it is a bank deposit slip. Deposit challans, we find this. Yes. The
Ma'am,
same. Yes, pa.
ma'am, can you please repeat this thing which you're doing right now?
In which stage you want me to repeat it? From the beginning of contra or the
No, no,
bank
ma'am.
allocations?
We got this one after now this ICICI Bank which you're doing, ma'am, from there.
ICICI
Yes, yes,
Bank
ma'am,
is
from here.
okay, 5,000 rupees. You're going to press
Okay.
enter. You have come to the bank allocation screen, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Now you press enter bar. Your transaction type should be cash. Amount is 5,000. Press enter. You will come to the denomination screen. That's it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Now we are depositing 5,000 into the bank. Now what is the denomination? Now 2,000 it has been stopped long back. We don't have the 2,000 denomination available in India. Do we have 1,000? No. Do we have 500? Yes, of course. How do we enter manually? The same way we have to put up here. That's it. Now in this case, we'll assume that we're having 5,000 notes of all 500 of all 500 denominations. So what will I do is I just press 10, type 10, assuming that I'm having all 500 denomination itself. Okay. So when I type 10, it will go to 5,000 rupees. Okay. Because in case if you go for a wrong, let's say a mistake report as 9, it will not allow you to pass the entry. Just see here what happens. So it will stop you there. So make sure you're going to put up the correct denomination 10. Okay, so moment you get this, right? I'll show you again. So it has to be like this. Keep on pressing enter. You'll come to the bank name. Now bank name we are not giving. Why? Because bank name is used only when there is a check deposit. Okay, only when there is a check deposit. Now I'm receiving a check from my customer. He'll give an SBI check to me. So there I have to give the bank name as State Bank of India. Okay, which I'm going to deposit in my ICICI bank. Assuming that ICICI bank is my company's bank account. Okay, so again repeating it, bank name is used only when there is a check deposit. When there is a cash deposit, we don't specify anything in the bank name. We will leave it blank. Okay, so you want to press enter here. That's it. So we come to the narration. Put up a simple narration as being cash deposited into the bank. And once you put up the narration, enter, accept, yes. I hope all of you have got the entry. Yes. Um, yes, if you have got the entry, accept yes. Okay. Now we'll go for the next voucher. Yes, that we are withdrawing cash of 3,000 from ICICI Bank. Now, yes, now in this case, we are going to withdraw funds of 3,000 from ICICI Bank. Now, there are many modes of withdrawing. Either I can present a check to the bank, or I can go to the ATM and I can withdraw. So, I can use any mode. So, before selecting, or I mean, before specifying that mode, I need to make my entry clear. So, when I'm withdrawing cash from the bank, of course, what is the journal entry I'm going to put up in this? Your debit has to be cash. It is the opposite of the deposit, and your credit, your bank becomes the giver. So credit becomes ICICI. This will be the case where cash is coming in and bank becomes the giver. So And as I've told you that credit aspect appears first and debit aspect appears next in your contra voucher. This is in contra I'm talking of. So what is the credit side appearing here? It is ICICI Bank. So I'll just replace cash with the ICICI Bank. And debit I will replace with cash. That's it. The same entry will put up in the contra voucher. Right. So now the withdrawal credit we have to select ICICI Bank. Now if you can observe that it will show that currently there is rupees 5,000 in the ICICI Bank. Out of 5,000, how much we are withdrawing? 3,000 rupees. So in the amount column we are going to give it as 3,000. Type 3,000 in the amount column and press enter. So again it will come to the bank allocation screen. Now again there's a clarity which needs to be given that how are we withdrawing the amount. Now in this case let's assume that we have withdrawn the amounts by using the ATM, but here it is giving us check. So it is just a small amount of 3,000. So I will use the ATM rather than using a check. So here there is a check which is being mentioned. I need to make the changes. So what is the key I've told you that if I need to get the list, what is the key I'm going to use in the keyboard? The shortcut key for that. If there's a prompt action, I want the list. So which key I would use in my keyboard? It is
And
yes,
write ATM, ma'am.
yeah. Can you repeat it? Space bar. Yes, it is a space bar which we use. Moment we use a space bar, it will give the list that is transaction types. Okay, but here if I can see, I'm having check, I'm having e-fund transfer, I'm having others, but I'm not finding ATM here. It is showing as others. Others can have so many I mean meanings. So what do I do is specifically I want to make sure that it is put up ATM over there. So can you see that show more option is there? Can you observe where show more is there? Press enter on that show more. Yes, you can see the first option as ATM. So I can select ATM there and I can press enter. So here I can clearly clarify that using the ATM I have withdrawn 3,000 rupees. Okay, this is how we can put up the entries, giving a finer clarity, right? So amount is 3,000, and obviously, what is this INST is nothing but instrument. Instrument number is check number. Okay, as you know, the check is a negotiable instrument. So, in case if I am withdrawing the amount by using a check, then I need to specify the instrument number. I'm repeating it again. In case if I am withdrawing by using a check, then I have to give the check number, obviously, check number and the check date. But in case if I'm not using a check, I'm going to the ATM and withdrawing the amount, I need not specify the check number. But please don't remove the instrument date, because if you remove that, it will not allow you to process your entry, go further. Why? Because here you're using a trial version, you're not using a licensed version. If you remove the date, it will not allow you to progress with the entry. So don't disturb that instrument date when you're using the trial version. Okay, so press enter, enter. Now you come to the DR, press enter, and here you're going to select cash. So again, put up the narration as be cash withdrawn from the bank. Accept this. Yes. So accept, yes. So I hope it is clear for all of you. The deposit and the withdrawal interbank transfers, I'll let you know. Okay, yes, I'll come to any doubt you're having. Yes, Abhirami, what was your doubt on? Can you repeat the beginning of the contra? Beginning in the sense from the very beginning or in between you had any issue? You can let me know. I hope others have clearly got the deposit and the withdrawal entry. In case if no, please raise your issues, or raise your questions. So from you, okay, fine. So for you, I'll be repeating from the beginning the deposit entry. Make sure you get that, Abhirami. Yeah, if you're going for a deposit of contra voucher, please make sure that you're in the contra voucher. Have you updated the opening balance of cash? Okay. So you're going to come back to the gateway of Tally screen and go to the vouchers there. Under transactions, you're going to you having vouchers, right? So go to the vouchers. Now, for the ones who have not got contra vouchers, it is for them. Yeah, from the gateway of Tally, you're going to go to the vouchers. Press F4, Fn and F4, you'll be in the contra voucher. Okay, and are you getting credit or are you getting account and particulars, Abhirami? If you're getting account and particulars, you should let me know. Otherwise, if you're getting particulars and then directly credit, how I'm getting in my screen, I'll proceed further. So check and tell me that how are you getting the screen. No, you can make the changes, Chavi, not an issue. You can order it. I'll show it to you in the next class. Not an issue. Okay. Chavi, it's fine, it's fine. We will relax on that. I got to know your issue. I will give the clarity in your next class. Would that be fine? Okay. Yes. Abhirami, yes, I'm in. Okay, fine. Abhirami, if you're in particulars and two, you want to press F12. Make it quick. Press F12. Configuration. Fn and F12 together. You'll be in the configuration screen. And make sure in use credit or debit instead of to and by. Make it as yes. Fast. Once you've made it as yes, press Control A. Yes, then you get the CR then. So what you're going to do is you're going to deposit cash of 5,000 into the ICICI bank. Chavi, you can also do it simultaneously. Not an issue. You can pass the second entry if you wish to. Now the deposit entry. See, you're going to deposit cash into the ICICI bank. So select cash over there because amount of 5,000 is going out of the company and being deposited into the bank, right? So I will type the amount as 5,000. I'll press enter. Your DR is prompting there, so don't type anything there. Just press enter. Let's suppose that you are depositing into the of course already ICICI Bank have created it. Okay, in your case, what you can do is you can go to the create option because you will not have ICICI Bank there. You'll have only cash and SBI Bank. So you can go to the create option. Chavi and Abhirami can go to the create option. You'll be in the ledger creation window. In the ledger creation window, here you can type as ICICI Bank. For you, in your case, I'll just give it as 2 because it will not let me to create one more ICICI Bank. And create under the group of bank accounts. So give the name as ICICI Bank under the group of bank accounts. Once you create ICICI Bank under the group of bank accounts, press Ctrl A to save your ledger. Once you press Ctrl A, you can see your ICICI Bank in the list of ledgers. Okay, so select that ICICI Bank and amount will be automatically reflected. I hope you have got till here. I think I'm very clear, Abhirami. You have to press FN and F12 together. If you don't press, you'll be in the aeroplane mode itself. Okay. So, moment you get 5,000, in the transaction type there has to be cash. Amount is 5,000, and give the exact denomination where I've given as 500 into 10 notes. Yes, need not specify the bank name, and give the narration as being cash deposited into the bank. See, when I'm giving you the instructions, you have to be very careful, you have to be alert. And in case at any stage, if you're lost out, if you're not having clarity, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question and you can put up in the chat box. Okay? So don't hold it for a longer time. So like this, you're going to put up the entry and accept yes. So this is the deposit entry you're going to work on. Fine. So I hope the deposit and the withdrawal entries are very much clear for today's class. Okay, and the transfer entries I'm going to show to you in the next class. Okay, that is tomorrow, and then we're going to start with the other set of features. Chavi will rectify that in the tomorrow session, Chavi. Okay, your ICICI Bank and the SBI thing. Fine. I think it should not be an issue. I will rectify it in your next session. Okay. So we come to the end of the session. Okay, so I'll meet you up in tomorrow's session. So you can quit your tally. So thank you all. See you up in the next session.
Thank you, ma'am.